Good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvening at Union Parish Detention Center. Time is 10:40 a.m. Mr. Dionell, would you please give us your full name and your Department of Corrections ID?
Name Dionell M Baham. My DOC number is 615378, sir.
Okay, so you pronounce it with, like you didn't have an I, it's Dionell.
Dionell.
Okay, and how are you pronouncing it?
Dionell.
Dionell, okay, Dionell. With the staff at Union Parish Detention Center, give us their name.
Sergeant Cade.
Thank you, Sergeant Cade, for facilitating the hearing today. Mr. Baham, I'm going to explain the process to you. Before I do that, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Alvin. Excuse me, my name is Alvin Roche. To my left is Ms. Pearl Wise. To my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. Mr. Baham, let me explain the process to you. I will read some information into the record. Once that information is in the record, will allow you to make a statement on your behalf at the end of the hearing. Prior to that, we'll give Sergeant Cade a chance to make remarks or give us some information on your behavior and what you've been doing at the Union Parish Detention Center. Then we will vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Baham, you are a third felony offender. You're 32 years old, and your offenses are, and your original sentence was on January 30th, 2017. And you were revoked because of a new felony on March 7th, 2018. Your offenses are in Orleans Parish on March 7th, 2018, resisting an officer, and you received a 10-year sentence. On March 7th, 2018, you was also convicted of possession of heroin, and you received a 10-year sentence. And those two sentences were running concurrently. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In Jefferson Parish, on August 23rd, 2017, you got convicted as an original offender for possession of heroin, and you received a 10-year sentence. Then, on the same date in Jefferson Parish, you got convicted of obstruction of justice, and you received a 10-year sentence for going concurrent. So your total DOC sentence is 10 years. You have served 6 years on a 10-year sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your parole date was October 5th, 2019. Your adjusted good time date is April 9th, 2026. And your full term date is April 4th, 2027. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All this information is correct.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, Mr. Baham, at 32 years old, and have been incarcerated for 6 years, a present job. What do you do at Union Parish?
Union Parish, I just have been shipped to Union Parish. Before I was shipped to Union Parish, I was attending the Steve Harley program and I completed the Steve Harley program. Then I got shipped to Union Parish. So I just made it a month ago.
So you completed the Steve Hall program on July 29th, 2022. Was that the 9-month program?
It was a 6-month program.
6-month program. And basically you have not received a job assignment at Union Parish yet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what you got out of the Steve Hall program.
I got a lot out of it. The risk factors. It basically teach you like to be aware of the signs of you slipping back into old habits. So if you can be aware of the signs, you basically eliminate it and move forward and basically live with whatever you're going through and overcome whatever you have going on emotionally within you. Living in balance was based upon like coping with life stresses, just period. Like you always gonna have things that you're dealing with, and you always gonna be facing. You always gonna have addicted nature. So with having an addicted nature, you have to learn to basically live with whatever you're going through and basically come into harmony and peace within yourself. And victim awareness just gave me a broad understanding of like how it doesn't just affect me, my decision doesn't affect me or just my family, it also affect individuals around me in the community, and not just the community, but also the state. So I had got a lot out the Steve Harvey program and my participation rate also. So
Now, Mr. Bayham, did you have an intention to take any anger management classes while at Steve Hall?
yeah, I took anger management. Anger management basically like teach you to like anger rate and basically teach you how to like, to me, I got out of it more meditation and bringing your anger down, really thinking before you react emotionally. But
You think
actually,
after completing anger management, you would ram into 3 police vehicles again?
no, no, sir. No,
Why,
no,
why did you do that?
because I was in a situation I kind of got scared and I was trying to get away. So I hurry up and hit drive and I ran into the police car.
You not only ran into a police car, you ran into 3 police cars.
Because I bagged up and when I saw the one coming towards me, I hit reverse and I ran into the back of one. I didn't know that they had one in the back of me. It wasn't my real intention to, but in the process of trying to get away, that would actually took place.
Where did all the anger come from?
Growing up, parents in and out incarceration. So not really having that love and that support from your mother and your father. So when you don't have that love and support from your mother and your father, and no one actually teach you later on in life, it go to expressing itself in different ways. And mine came out more in anger, like outbursting and things of that nature.
Tell us about your manslaughter conviction.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your manslaughter conviction.
Young, basically seeking for love and like the individuals in a community, the older individuals involved in the criminal life, they basically like show me the compassion that I actually needed. So I got involved up in that and I made like foolish decisions. Like it was between me and a mutual friend growing up, like, and it's something that I actually regret, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it's like I learned to live on with it and not basically try to make those decisions again.
In 2017, you had a parole violation. What was that about?
2017, I had took probation on possession of heroin in Orleans, and I had got rearrested up in Jefferson Parish.
Tell me about the resisting the officer and aggravated criminal damage to property.
Aggravated. I basically carved out to those and took on 6 months.
And then in 2016, you had simple battery.
Yeah, that was between me and my sister. We had a disagreement, so she basically called the police, so I had to go to get incarcerated.
How about the 2011 first degree murder? It looked like it was brought down to attempted first degree murder.
That was the manslaughter conviction that I carved out to.
So you have a lot of violence in your life. So tell me how you're going to deal with that when you release.
I'm basically going to deal with it like basically, I'm mature since then. It gave me much time to reflect being incarcerated these 6 years, and being incarcerated these 6 years, I was able to dig in and understand where my anger thrives from. And it comes from basically not having that supportive system of my mother and my father, because that's what I really wanted when I was young. So when I didn't basically get it, it hurt, and hurt people. So I was outbursting and displaying my anger by putting my hands up on individuals. If somebody would have basically sat down with me and basically explained these things unto me, I would have had a better understanding. But it took for me to be honestly incarcerated and be reading and applying myself to different self-help books, reading the Bible, building my relationship, being around positive individuals who were able to break these things down unto me. And that's when I went to get my understanding of why I basically expressed myself in anger. So once I came to that understanding, I basically told myself, like, I gotta be better. I gotta think better. I gotta express my anger in different ways. And it can't be by basically putting my hands on individuals.
Great. Now, let's talk about you had a moderate risk assessment score. It tells us that you have a moderate chance of reoffending, and you're already a third-time offender. You're only 13 years old. You have a long history of violence. You just been revoked in 2018, and you have law enforcement opposition. The DA's office is opposed to your release. So tell me why I should vote to release you today.
Be honest, like coming into the knowledge and the maturity I came into, like I know I can contribute to society, and I also can cope and overcome whatever I face in society. Now I got a hope. I have something anchor, a foundation that I basically rely upon, and not just that, but I also got people going to hold me accountable. I have a good support system. So basically,
Question: where were those people when you committed this 3 felonies?
basically, I was kind of blocking them out, to be honest. I was blocking them out. And I had to sit down and basically realize like these individuals really love me, because I felt like the people, my family didn't love me. So when I sat down and I really think about what they was telling me, it go to show me that they love me, and basically taking their advice gonna help me basically be more successful in society.
Thank you, Mr. Baham. Sergeant Cade,
Yes,
would
sir.
you like to make any remarks about his behavior or his time at Union Parish?
Mr. Bam, he just stays to himself. He doesn't cause no trouble for us. It's hard for me to find him because half the time he's sleeping on me.
Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Baham, just what is going to be your sobriety plan if you get out? You will stay away from alcohol and
Cause my brother, he go to churches like a celebration recovery church, and he want me to get involved up in a program, but it's a celebration recovery church. And my plan is basically like go and receive more information how to basically maintain my sobriety, but not also maintain my sobriety, but also help others maintain their sobriety.
You go to AA and mid-A?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have one question. I was on your panel on September 30th, 2021. And I'm glad to see that you were able to get moved and think more. And you took advantage of all the programs out. I just want to commend you for that. Because sometimes you get the opportunities and you don't take advantage of them. It sounds like you did. There was some indication that you were helping others get their high set. You were like an education tutor. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Up in Negative
Go-
Parish. Up in
And
Negative.
yeah. Have you told these people around here that you can help people get their high set? Have you let them know you have that skill?
No, I didn't basically let them know. I ain't even really know if they had a GED here because I never saw nobody went.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. What are your plans if you're successful today? How would you support yourself?
I would basically repeat that question again, man.
How would you support yourself if you get released today? If you're successful today and your parole is granted, how would you support yourself?
Basically, I will basically get a job first. Like get a job. Once I get a job,
Jobs lined up, and you just go and apply.
no man, I don't have no job as of right now.
Done.
Hmm?
What kind of work have you done?
Since I've been incarcerated,
No, period, in life, on the streets. Have you ever worked?
yes, ma'am. I had restaurant, bus boy service. I done construction. I worked up in the shipping department, up in a warehouse, and car wash.
Okay, sounds good. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Bayer, what is your transition plan? What are you planning to live? You just told us why you don't have a job yet. What are you planning to live?
She moved to Austin, Texas, so I have to be transitioned to Austin, Texas, to a better environment. But if I have to go to New Orleans and then be transitioned to Austin, Texas, I live in St. Bernard Parish and then do the interstate compact.
Is the China, the Austin, Texas still active?
No, sir. It's been taken care of when I was up on the last parole. Miss Watts, she gave me the information, and when I received the information, the case got basically dismissed.
Austin as well. At this time, Mr. Bayham, you're a very long-winded individual, so please give us a brief closing statement.
Brief closing statement. My time being incarcerated, to me, basically, it was good for me because it helped me understand myself, understand like the reason why I acted the way I acted. And it also gave me like a firm foundation, a new hope, and a new direction up in life, and also allowed me to want better. Now I want better and I look forward to better and a brighter future than my past. And not just that, but also being contribute to people, like helping them also.
Thank you, Mr. Bayham. Mr. Bayham, I have major concerns about you. Your drug activity, your history of violence, you ran 3 police cars, and it didn't even take into consideration the well-being of the human beings that were wearing a uniform. supposedly, when you're approached by law enforcement, you're supposed to be accommodating, and if you're not doing anything wrong. But evidently, you were involved in criminal activity, and you wanted to get away from the police, and you used all measures to do that. You just been revoked in 2018. You have law enforcement opposition. The DA's office has written a very strong letter of opposition. You have a moderate risk assessment. And I don't think that you're ready to be released, even though you've completed the Steve Hall program. I want you to think about your violence. I want you to think about the people that you hurt, because I'm almost sure besides using drugs, you sold drugs, and that was the reason why you were trying to evade the police. Based upon everything I've just mentioned, I'm going to deny your request for early release.
Okay, Mr. Baham, you completed Steve Hall. Matter of fact, you completed almost everything we have to offer. So I think it's on you now. I mean, holding you any more time, I don't see where it's going to do us much good, because you're just going to sit there. So my vote is to grant. You follow all recommendations of Steve Hall, attend 3 a.m. meetings a week, and try to complete that interstate compact to Austin immediately upon release. Because I think you need to get out of here and get to a new environment quickly. So that's my vote.
Is why.
Mr. Baham, you got my vote on September the 30th of 2021, and you got my vote today. You continue to do well, even after you were denied last time. And I applaud you for that, for your good programs, your continued improvement. I'm kind of trying to figure out, should I grant conditionally and get that I-card before you leave? But how solid is Safe for Noah residence plan? How solid is that?
It's that's great. My sister live in St. Bernard Parish.
I think that is.
Mr. Freeman, if it's a measure to approve, I will amend my decision.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. You grant the conditionally upon you.
Getting your interstate compact.
Go ahead.
I'm going to amend my decision based upon the wisdom of two former parole officers who see something I don't. So I will approve conditionally your release upon an approved ICOT to Austin, Texas. If that ICOT is not approved, this decision will be rescinded. You understand what I just said?
Yes, sir.
Conditions after release. I want you to follow all recommendations of the Steve Hall program. I want you to attend at least 3 NAAA meetings a week. And I want you to do community service with at-risk youth. You have a story to share. You're very articulate. You're very long-winded. You've had the experience of being convicted of 3 felonies. You've been incarcerated. Try to explain to these young people that crime and drugs and alcohol is not the way to go. You should point them in the right direction so they won't have to go through the same thing that you went through. Okay?
Let
Yes,
me
sir.
add, the community service, you also use your tutoring skills. There's a deficit nowadays in education. So you got those tutoring skills, you help them with their schoolwork in your community service. Best wishes to you, sir.
Sergeant K,
Yes.
Make sure that y'all start that interstate compact.
Okay.
Whoever your transition specialist is to get that done.
I'll let the captain know as soon as we get done.
All right, thank you. Right.
Put your pastor, please get the law officer about that community service, okay?
All right, sir.
You have received 3 votes to grant conditionally for the improved interstate compact to Austin, Texas. Have a good day.
All right, y'all too. Have a good day. Thank you.
Okay. Well, he looks relieved. It was interesting how Mr. O'Shea denied, and then Mr. Freeman came back and said, like, hey, you know, he did everything we asked from him. On his last parole hearing, we said, go to Steve Hoyle, and he did that. He has no more programs left to take. So it's like, you know, why continue to punish someone if they did everything you asked from him? And everything else aside, frankly, I agree with that ideology. No, I agree with that thought process. You know, can you really, if prison's meant to protect and to rehabilitate and to punish, where is it? What did he do that makes you still believe that he's still a threat, unless you're just still holding his track record? Which it wasn't clear to me, but was he initially in for manslaughter? Then he violated his parole, and in that violation was being chased by police officers where he hit 3 of their cars. And yeah, that's pretty intense. But you know what? The judge could have given a longer date, I would think. 10 years is a long sentence, but he was up for parole pretty quickly. He's now 6 years in on the 10 years. He would have been up for parole just 3 years in. It's interesting though. They're just like, you know what? Get out of here. Get out of our state, and we'll be fine. We'll let you go. And there's 2 reasons for it. There's one where you can be a little bit skeptical or whatever, and it's like they just want to get the problem out of their state, and they don't care about, you know, Texas. And the other is that it's changed your place, people, places, things, which there's a lot of truth to that. So, you know, getting him out of Louisiana should help him a lot, you would think, unless he's going from one frying pan to another frying pan, or from one fire to another fire. I couldn't find anything on Google about the initial manslaughter. He must have just taken a deal. That's why there's no appeals. You can't find anything. I couldn't find anything on Google. When you Google his name, nothing. He has a last name that shows up, but not his first name with his last name. Man, the sergeant in the background just going to town on his fingers was like a little bit, oh gosh. You know, it made me think. It's like, you know, when you get locked up, it's like all of these certain things that you have to deal with, including like having a just out of school correction officer power tripping me. I'm not accusing him of doing that, but just imagine being completely under the control of anyone, no matter their age, no matter their biases, no matter their tendencies for making your life miserable. It's just got to be the biggest, like, why people, you know, after getting locked up that first time, why so many just end up back in prison. It's to have to deal with all of that. It's just, it kind of it intrigues me, and I try to read up as much as I can on it and learn as much as I can on it to understand it. And I know it's not as simple. It's a loaded statement to say, and there's so much that goes into it. But it's one of the answers that he gave about why he does his crime, I thought was very insightful. He was going into how he didn't feel that he grew up loved. He didn't feel loved. He didn't have and that made him angry. And all of the kind of like, I guess, abuse and not having family figures and not having stability in his home. I mean, he did say that. He did gain that insight. And that very breaks my heart when I play with my kids and I see just how much love that they have, and then to think that a little kid, a little baby can grow up without ever feeling that love and feeling traumatized and trauma and fear and hunger, and to just be that way, to be abused your whole life. What else what are you going to do? Then you go to crime, and then you end up in prison, and it's just a cycle that just starts off. And how do you fix that? When you think about it from that perspective, it breaks my heart. I don't ever claim to have the answers for this. I know I'm going on a bit of a monologue here, a bit of a rant maybe. I know like the intentions are good with the programs, but so much of it is like, there are so many flaws. So much of it is financially driven. So much of it is all about just money, money, money. I don't know. Again, I don't claim to have the answers, but you do, every once in a while, you do see a case where the prison system does what it's supposed to do. What I think I would have liked to have seen here in a perfect world is he spent all this time taking programs, but what if he could have learned to trade? To me, that seems like something that could have been incredibly valuable. Whether it's, whatever type of trade, there are so many trades that you can get to build confidence, to build self-respect, and then to go to get released and to work that to me seems like the most ideal. You see that happen a lot, where someone gets a trade and then they get on work release, and then they save money, so they're not just getting thrown out there into like the den with nothing, with dues to pay and all of these restrictions and impossible to get a job. And it's like, what do you expect? So I guess it would have been, interesting if that could have happened. But in the end, I think it was the right thing to do to let him out. It's on the condition that he leaves Louisiana, so they don't want to deal with it. But I say it's the right thing because he did everything you asked from him. So that's just the way I think things should work. It should be fair. But hope he stays out. Anyways, that's just my little thoughts on it. And with that, I'll let you go.